What's up guys, Christina here for Card Player TV, and for this edition of Strategy, we caught up with Greg Fossilman Raymer. He's known for being able to build a big chip lead early in a tournament, and we caught up with him to see exactly how he does it and how to proceed after he gets it.
Well, when you're deep stacked, I'm happy to see lots of flops, and I'm happy to see them cheaply. And even if I think I have the best hand, I mean, if you come in for a raise, I might just flat call you with all kinds of hands, even when I think I have the best hand. There's no need to raise again, and win the pot now. Because, the blinds are 50 and 100, you make it 300. If I raise you off your hand with my ace-king, I win 450 chips. 450 more out of 20,000 is not that big a deal.
Right.
So maybe I'll just flat call you with my ace-king and try to hit, the two-pair flop where I have aces and kings and you have ace-queen, and you think your ace-queen's the best hand, and instead you're drawing almost dead.
Right.
So in other words, I'm playing pots with hands where I'm going to try to win all the chips in this pot. So I would much rather play suited connectors and small pairs or suited aces rather than like an ace-king or ace-queen offsuit.
Okay. Do you recommend this type of strategy to all different kinds of players, or maybe one that's better at reading players? If that's not your strong suit, it seems like you might not want to be in so many pots like that.
Well, that's true, but if you stick to hands that can hit the flop big,
okay,
and only play them when you hit them big, the difference maybe between what I'm going to do and if someone who's a little less experienced is that when I call with pocket sevens and it comes jack 9-3 and the guy bets into me again, maybe I can use my experience to put a read on him and say he only has ace-king, my sevens are good, I'm going to call and see how he plays the turn.
Okay.
Whereas if you're not getting a good read on your opponent, either because you just haven't played enough to do that yet, or this is just a tough guy you can't read, then I'm not going to make that call if I can't read him either.
Okay.
So if I have confidence in my read of you, then I'll do all kinds of things that I'd never do if you're a blank slate. If you're if you're a Bill Chen and I'm just like, I get nothing from someone like that.
Right.
So then I'm going to have to, just play more kind of online strategy against you. But even then, when I play online tournaments with a deep stack, I'm much more likely to call a raise with a suited connector than an ace-queen.
Okay. Now, once you have a big stack, then what do you do if you're early in a tournament still?
Well, I'm going to still play it similarly, but if the pot is starting to get big and I have the draw instead of the made hand, now I might decide to take that chance and just, raise the guy all in on the turn or the river or the million, well, not the river I should say, but the flop or the turn I mean to say.
Okay.
So I flop a big draw, and now you do your what might be a continuation bet. You might have not hit that flop, or you might have pocket aces, I don't know. But if I flop the flush draw and some overcards, then I might just decide now's the time to put you to the test for all your chips. If I'm wrong, or if I'm right and get unlucky, I can take the hit and still have a good stack.
Okay.
So I might take that chance against you, whereas if I was still at 20,000 and you're at 20,000, do I want to play a pot where I think my edge is this big and it's all my stack when I'm wrong, or when I get unlucky?
Right. Okay, well, once you've got a big stack, what would you say the percentage of hands you play or decide to play pre-flop? Does it increase since you have a lot of chips, or decrease since you kind of want to maybe protect it a little bit?
It probably doesn't change much. I mean, if I get a shorter stack, or if I sit here and coast on this stack and can't grow it until the blinds are big, then I'm going to start playing fewer hands, because now I don't have enough chips compared to the blinds to play the speculative hands, to play the small pairs and suited connectors. I mean, I actually just folded a hand now against one of these players because we had a multi-way pot, and I flopped a flush draw, and I bet because everyone but him had checked. So it's like, well, here's a chance to get everyone to fold. If they don't fold, that's not so bad. I have the flush draw. And now, boom, he puts in a big raise. And I'm looking at his stack, and it's just like, okay, I have enough chips to gamble in this spot, but if I'm wrong and he has me beat right now, I'm paying too big of a price to draw to hit this flush on the turn, because I can't win enough from him anymore. So he's made a big enough raise that the current pot odds are not sufficient, and my implied odds are not sufficient because the rest of his stack isn't as big as mine. Whereas if he had as many chips as me, I would have called that raise and tried to win 80,000 more off of him. But I could only win like 15,000 more off of him. So calling that 3,000 chip raise was not good math anymore.
Definitely.
So I played differently based on my stack size, your stack size, all these things. The real key, though, is just to get in there, learn how to play well, however you do that, whether you're going to come to an online training site, whether you're going to read Card Player magazine, going to get it at the School of Hard Knocks. Get that experience and then have confidence in yourself. Even if you don't have confidence in yourself, if you enter the tournament anyway, then believe in yourself for that duration.
Absolutely.
Even if you're not really there yet, believe in yourself, do what you think is right, and then learn from your mistakes and eventually get better. As long as you're playing within your bankroll, then there's nothing wrong with it.